Have a wonderful day. Being a part of a certain organization, it is our responsibility to know something about the organization where we get into. I am so grateful to give you some information about the cooperative in order for you to become fully aware on it. Today, we are going to have our pre-membership education seminar. The topic that we're going to talk about is the basic concepts of cooperative. Republic Act Number 9520. An act amending the Cooperative Code of the Philippines to be known as the Philippine Cooperative Code of 2008. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the Philippines in Congress assembled. What is a cooperative? A cooperative is a duly registered association of persons with a common bond of interest who have voluntarily joined together to achieve a lawful common social or economic end, making equitable the contribution to the capital required and accepting a fair share of the risks and benefits of the undertaking in accordance with universally accepted cooperative principle. What are the principles of cooperativism? The first principle is anchored on voluntarism. The second principle is democracy. The third principle is the limitation of share capital interest. The fourth principle is sharing all location of cooperative surplus or savings. The fifth principle makes provisions for the education and training of cooperative members, officers, and employees, and of the general public in the principles and techniques of cooperation. The sixth principle harps on the promotion of cooperation between cooperatives at local, national, and international levels. The seventh principle is the concern for community by working for its sustainable development through policies approved by the cooperative members. What are the basic laws that govern organization and administration of cooperatives in the Philippines? Republic Act 6938, known as Cooperative Code of the Philippines. Republic Act 6939, creating the Cooperative Development Authority. Rights of registered cooperatives. There are 12 rights of registered cooperatives. To the exclusive use of its registered name to sue and be sued. Of succession. To amend its articles of cooperation in accordance with the provisions of this Code 25. To adopt bylaws not contrary to law, morals, or public policy, and to amend and repeal the same in accordance with the Code. To purchase, receive, take, or grant, hold, convey, sell, lease, pledge, mortgage, and otherwise deal with such real and personal property as the transaction of the lawful affairs of the cooperative may reasonably and necessarily require, subject to the limitations prescribed by law and the Constitution. To enter into division, merger, or consolidation. To form subsidiary cooperatives. To join federations or unions. To avail of loans, be entitled to credit, and accept and receive grants, donations, and assistance from foreign and domestic sources. To avail of preferential rights granted to the cooperatives under Republic Act Number 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code and other laws. To organize and operate schools in accordance with Republic Act Number 9155. And to exercise such other powers granted by the Code or as stated in its Articles of Cooperation. What are the cooperatives? There are many kinds of cooperatives. However, I am going to give you only 5 kinds. First, credit cooperative. It promotes thrift and savings among its members and creates funds in order to grant loans for productivity. Second, consumer cooperative. The primary purpose is to procure and distribute commodities to members and non-members. Third, producers cooperative. It undertakes joint production, whether agricultural or industrial. Fourth, service cooperative. It engages in medical and dental care, hospitalization, transportation, insurance, housing, labor, electric light and power, communication, and other services. And the last one, multipurpose cooperative. It combines two or more of the business activities of these different types of cooperatives. According to membership and territory, the following are the categories of cooperatives. In terms of membership, primary, the members of which are natural persons of legal age. Secondary, the members of which are primaries. Tertiary, the members of which are secondaries upward to one or more apex organizations. Cooperatives whose members are cooperatives are called federations or unions. In terms of territory, cooperatives are categorized according to areas of operation which may not coincide with the political subdivisions of the country. What are the general steps in forming a cooperative? First, get organized. Second, prepare a general statement called an economic survey. Third, draft the cooperative's bylaws. Fourth, draft the articles of cooperation. Fifth, register your cooperative with the Cooperative Development Authority, or CDA, who may become members of a primary cooperative. If you are a Filipino of legal age, you can be a co-op member if you meet the qualifications prescribed by the co-op's bylaws. The Board of Directors acts on application for membership. A member may exercise his rights only after having paid the fees for membership and acquired shares in the cooperative. What are the kinds of membership in the cooperative? A cooperative has two kinds of members: regular members and associate members. A regular member is entitled to all the rights and privileges of membership as stated in the Cooperative Code and the Co-op's bylaws. An associate member has no right to vote and to be voted upon, and is entitled to such rights and privileges provided by the cooperative bylaws. What is the minimum number of members in a cooperative? 15 natural persons of legal age who are citizens of the Philippines. Can government officers and employees join a cooperative? Yes, provided that any officer of the government of the CDA shall be disqualified to be elected or appointed to any position in a cooperative. Elected officials of the government, except barangay officials, shall be ineligible to become officers and directors of cooperatives. And any government employee may, in the discharge of his duties as a member in the cooperative, use official time provided that the operations of the office where he works are not adversely affected. What is an economic survey? Economic survey is a general statement describing the structure, purpose, economic feasibility of the proposed cooperative area of operation, size of membership, and other pertinent data. It is in fact a project feasibility study. The structure describes the kind of cooperative being set up, whether it is primary, secondary, or tertiary, and whether it is a credit, consumer, transport, or any other type of co-op. What are cooperative bylaws? The qualifications for membership, how they are acquired, maintained, and lost. The rights and obligations of members. The condition for transfer of a share of interest. The rules and procedures covering agenda, time, place, and manner of calling, covering, conduct meeting, quorum requirements, voting system, and other matters related to the business affairs of the General Assembly, Board of Directors, and committees. The general conduct of the affairs of the cooperative, including the powers and duties of the General Assembly, Board of Directors, committees, and the officers, and their qualifications and disqualifications. What are cooperative bylaws? The manner in which capital may be raised and purpose for which it can be utilized. The mode of custody and investment of net surplus. The accounting and auditing systems. The manner and limitations of loaning and borrowing, including limitations. The methods of distribution of net surplus. The manner of adopting, amending, repealing, and abrogating bylaws. A conciliation or mediation mechanism for the amicable settlement of dispute among members, directors, officers, and committees, and other matter pertaining to the purpose and activities of the cooperative. What does the Article of Cooperation contain? The Article of Cooperation is a duly notarized document that legally binds all the signatories in the formation of a cooperative. It should contain the name of the cooperative, which shall include the word cooperative. Example, Santa Maria Multipurpose Cooperative. The purpose of the cooperative and scope of business. The term of existence of the cooperative not more than 50 years. The area of operation and the postal address of the registrants. The common band of membership. The list of names of the directors who shall manage the cooperative. The amount of its share capital, the names and residence of its contributors, and a statement of whether the cooperative is primary, secondary, or tertiary, in accordance with Article 23 of RA 6938. Does a cooperative follow a basic organizational structure? Yes, your cooperative will need at least the following for its day-to-day operation: General Assembly, Board of Directors, set of officers, committee system, hired management or paid employees. What is the General Assembly? The General Assembly is the highest policy-making body of the cooperative and is the final authority in the management and administration of the affairs of the cooperative. It is composed of members who are entitled to vote, duly assembled and constituting quorum. The General Assembly holds at least one meeting a year. The date of the meeting is fixed in the bylaws or within 90 days after the close of its fiscal year. For newly registered cooperatives, a special General Assembly meeting must be called within 90 days from the date of approval. What are the powers of the General Assembly? The General has the following exclusive powers which cannot be delegated: to determine and approve amendments to the Articles of Cooperation and bylaws, to elect and appoint the members of the Board of Directors and to remove them for cause, to approve developmental plans of the cooperative, and other matters requiring a two-thirds vote of all the members of the General Assembly. What is the Board of Directors? The Board of Directors are the body that formulates policies, directs, supervises, and manages the business of the cooperative. It is composed of 5 to 15 members elected by the General Assembly. Their term of office is determined by the laws of the cooperative. A term of office must not exceed 2 years. Also, no director can serve for more than 3 consecutive terms. The Board of Directors must hold monthly meetings unless the bylaws say otherwise. A special meeting may be called any time by the chairman. Directors cannot attend or vote by proxy at the board meetings. Who can be members of the Board of Directors? All regular members who meet the qualification and none of the disqualifications set by the laws of the cooperative can be elected to the Board of Directors. How are the officers of the cooperative chosen? The Board of Directors elects among themselves only the chairman and vice chairman. Then, they either elect or appoint the other officers needed by the cooperative, such as the treasurer, who takes custody of all the monies, securities, and papers and maintains complete records of its cash transactions, and secretary, who keeps the records of the cooperative. What are the committees needed by a cooperative? Through the bylaws, a cooperative may be formed any committee it thinks necessary for its operation. An executive committee may also be formed. The Board of Directors appoint its members and may, through a majority vote, delegate powers to it. As a reminder, an audit committee must be provided for in the bylaws of the cooperative. What constitutes a quorum? Unless the bylaws defines it otherwise, a quorum consists of 25% of all the regular members entitled to vote. For the Board of Directors, a simple majority of its members makes a quorum. What books should be maintained and kept open? Books to be maintained and kept open to the members of the cooperative and the CDA are the following: a copy of the Cooperative Code of the Philippines and all other laws about cooperatives, a copy of the regulations of the CDA, a register of members, minutes of the meetings of the General Assembly, Board of Directors, and committees, share books, financial statements, and other documents as may be prescribed by laws or the bylaws. Are cooperatives required SSS to be audited annually? Yes. Cooperatives are subjected to an annual audit by an auditor who is independent of the cooperative being audited and of any subsidiary of the cooperative, and is a member of any recognized professional accounting or cooperative auditors association with similar qualifications. Is there a needed for an annual report? Yes. An annual report about the affairs of the cooperative must be given to each member and to the federation or union to which it is affiliated and the CDA every fiscal year. Failure to file annual report may result in cancellation of the certificate of registration. What are the general privileges enjoyed by cooperatives? These privileges are three rights to deposit their valuable in government offices free of charge with the government official acting as custodian of such valuables. Free use of space. When the cooperative members are government employees in the same government office. Special types of co-ops like cold storage, electricity, transport, and similar services can open their membership to all persons qualified in their areas of operation. The preferential right to supply government offices with their produce in the allocation of fertilizer and rice distribution, use of batteries for shipment of their goods, and in the management of public markets. What are the general privileges enjoyed by cooperatives? Entitlement to loans, credit line, and rediscounting of notes with government financial institutions like PNB, Land Bank, and DBP. Exemption from pre-qualification requirements when bidding for a government project. The right to be represented by the provincial or city fiscal or the office of the Solicitor General free of charge in legal suits. What are the benefits derived from the membership in cooperatives? Economic benefits. Members develop the habit of thrift and the wise use of money. Members avail of loans at reasonable rate of interest for productive and provident purposes, thus increasing the members' income. Social benefits. Members develop awareness in solving common problems or needs among themselves. Members develop the feeling of belongingness, love, and concern for fellow men. Membership in cooperative inculcates unified participation in community affairs. How is the net surplus of a cooperative allocated and distributed? As far as the co-op is concerned, this excess payment or surplus is considered as having been returned to the members if the surplus is distributed in the following manners. First, priority goes to the reserve fund, at least 10% of the net surplus. Second, priority goes to the education and training fund, which is not more than 10% of the net surplus. Third, priority is an optional fund, a land and building fund, community development fund, and any other necessary funds. What are the general requirements in registering a cooperative? You will need 4 copies each of the economic survey, bylaws, and articles of cooperation. The articles of cooperation should be duly notarized and accompanied by the following: bonds of the accountable officer, any of the following: director, officer, and employee handling funds, securities, offices, and employee handling funds, securities, or properties on behalf of the cooperative. The board of directors determine the amount of bonds required based on the initial network, which shall include the paid-up capital membership fees and other assets of the cooperative at the time of registration. What are the general requirements in registering a cooperative? Sworn statement of the treasurer showing that at least 25% of the authorized share has been subscribed and at least 25% of the total subscription has been paid. The paid-up capital must not be less than 2,000 pesos. It must be noted that no member may own more than 20% of the subscribed capital, and that its share must not be less than 1 peso. How much is the registration fee? CDA Memorandum Circular Number 92004, effective May 1, 1992, provides that registration fee shall be 1/10 of 1% of the paid-up share capital with a minimum of 250 pesos for new primary cooperative, 500 pesos for secondary cooperative, 2,000 pesos for tertiary cooperative, while laboratory cooperative is free of charge. Cooperative process. Welfare articles of cooperation bylaws, rules and regulations, other policies, BODs committees, officers or members. General Assembly elects or appoints, plans or formulates. What are the success factors of cooperative? Members' recognition of common needs. Members' determination to help themselves. Members' conviction that group action offer advantages. Presence of good members and capable, dedicated leaders. Good record-keeping system. Frequent audit, continuous cooperative education. Training of officers and members. Proper guidance. Other factors, financial assistance. Savings mobilization and capital build-up program. Capital build-up. A cooperative shall have a capital formation process for the operation of its business. The capitalization of cooperatives and the accounting, therefore, shall be governed by the provisions of the Cooperative Code and the regulations issued hereunder. The share of cooperatives are registered with the CDA. Those of corporations are registered with SEC. Capital sources. Cooperative registered under this code may derive their capital from any of all the following. Members' share capital. Loans and borrowings including deposits. Revolving capital, which consists of the deferred payment of patronage refunds or interest on share capital. And subsidies, donations, legacies, grants, aids, and such other assistance from any local or foreign institution, whether public or private. Savings mobilization. Savings is encouraged to cooperative to augment the group business that members engage into. It could be used for expansion of the enterprise. Some of the saving schemes used by most cooperatives are the following. Piso-piso deposito or 1 peso a day. Savings birthday regalo for Christian and Ramadan regalo for Muslim. Raffle tickets or raffle draws. 25 centavos retention to every item being sold by cooperative store or any amount agreed. Other savings schemes. Bylaws. RA 9520 or the Philippine Code of 2008. Section 1. The General Assembly. The General Assembly is composed of all the members entitled to vote, duly assembled and constituting a quorum, and is the highest policy-making body of the cooperative. Section 2. Powers of the General Assembly. Subject to the pertinent provisions of the Cooperative Code and the rules issued thereunder, the General Assembly shall have the following exclusive powers which cannot be delegated. Section 2. Powers of the General Assembly. To determine and approve amendments to the Cooperative Articles of Cooperation and Bylaws. To elect or appoint the members of the Board of Directors and to remove them for cause. To approve developmental plans of the cooperative. To delegate some of its power to a smaller body of the cooperative as authorized by the Philippine Cooperative Code of 2008. Section 3. Meetings. Meetings of the General Assembly, Board of Directors, and committees may be regular or special. All proceedings and businesses undertaken at any meetings of the General Assembly or Board of Directors, if within the powers or authority of the cooperative, there being a quorum, shall be valid. Section 4. Regular General Assembly Meeting. The General Assembly shall hold its annual regular meeting at the principal office of the cooperative or at any place within the Philippines on the second Friday of February of every year. Section 5. The Special General Assembly Meeting. The Board of Directors may, by a majority vote of all its members, call a special General Assembly meeting at any time to consider urgent matters requiring immediate membership decision. The Board of Directors must likewise call a special General Assembly meeting within 1 month from receipt of a written request from at least 10% of the total number of members entitled to vote. The Audit Committee, or the federation or union to which the cooperative is a member, or upon order of the Cooperative Development Authority. Section 6. Notice of Meeting. All notices of meetings shall be in writing and shall include the date, time, place, and agenda thereof is stated therein. Regular General Assembly Meeting. Notice of the annual regular General Assembly meeting shall be served by the Secretary personally or his duly authorized representative by registered mail or by electronic means to all members of record at his last known postal address or by posting or publication or through other electronic means at least 1 week before the said meeting. It shall be accompanied with an agenda, minutes of meeting of the last General Assembly meeting, consolidated reports of the Board of Directors and committees, audited financial statements, and other papers which may assist the members to intelligently participate in the proceedings. Section 6. Notice of Meeting. A Special General Assembly Meeting. Notice of any special General Assembly meeting shall be served by the Secretary personally or his duly authorized representative by registered mail or by electronic means upon its members who are entitled to vote at his last known postal address or by posting or publication or through other electronic means at least 1 week before the said meeting. It shall state the purpose, and except for related issues, no other business shall be considered during the meeting. Section 7. Order of Business. As far as practicable, the order of business of a regular General Assembly meeting shall be call to order, roll call, proof of due notice, declaration of presence of quorum, consideration of presence of quorum, reading and approval of the previous minutes of the meeting, matters arising from the minutes, consideration of the consolidated report of the Board of Directors, officers, and the committees, including audited financial statements of the cooperative. Unfinished business. Election of directors and committee members. Approval of development plan and budget. New business. Other matters. And adjournment. Section 8. Quorum for General Assembly Meeting. During regular or special General Assembly meeting, at least 50% plus 1 of the total number of members entitled to vote shall constitute a quorum. Section 9. Voting System. Only members entitled to vote shall be qualified to participate and vote in any General Assembly meeting. A member is entitled to one vote only, regardless of the number of shares he owns. Election or removal of directors and committee members shall be by secret ballot. Action on all matters shall be in any manner that will truly and correctly reflect the will of the membership. Capital, property, and funds. Capital. The capitalization of cooperative and the accounting procedure shall be governed by the provisions of this code and the regulations which shall be issued. Share capital. The term share refers to a unit in a primary cooperative, the par value of which may be fixed at any figure not more than 1,000 pesos. The share capital of the cooperative is the money paid or required to be paid for the operations of the cooperative. The share capital consists of common share capital issued to regular members, preferred share capital issued to associate members. Capital sources. Cooperative registered under this code may derive their capital from any or all of the following sources. Members' share capital. Loans and borrowings including deposits. Revolving capital, which consists of the deferred payment of patronage refunds or interest on share capital. Subsidies, donations, legacies, grants, aids, and such other assistance from any local or foreign institution, whether public or private. Limitation on share capital holdings. No member of a primary cooperative other than a cooperative itself shall own or hold more than 10% of the subscribed share capital of the cooperative. Assignment of share capital contribution or interest. No member shall transfer his shares of interest in the cooperative or any part thereof unless he has held such share capital contribution or interest for not less than 1 year. The assignment is made to the cooperative or to a member of the cooperative. The board of directors shall approve such assignment. Capital buildup. The bylaws of every cooperative shall provide for a reasonable and realistic member capital build-up program to allow for continuing growth of the members' investment in their cooperative as their own economic conditions continue to improve. Allocation and distribution of net surplus. Net surplus. Every cooperative shall determine its net surplus as the close of every fiscal year. The net surplus shall not be construed as profit, but an excess of payments made by the members for the loans borrowed or goods and services availed by them, and which shall be deemed to have been returned to them if the same is distributed as prescribed herein. Distribution of net surplus. The net surplus of every cooperative shall be distributed as follows. The reserve fund at least 10% of net surplus, provided that in the first 5 years of operation after registration, this amount shall not be less than 50% of the net surplus. Education and training fund shall not be more than 10% of the net surplus. Community Development Fund shall not be less than 3% of the net surplus. Optional Fund, land and building shall not exceed 7% of the net surplus. The remaining net surplus shall be made available to the members. Reports required for cooperative. Required regular reports. The following reports shall be submitted to the authority. Cooperative Annual Performance Report. Audited Financial Statement duly stamped, received by BIR. Social Audit Report. Performance Report. List of officers and trainings undertaken or completed. Filing. All registered cooperatives shall file with the authority a copy of the required reports either through personal, registered mail, courier, or any electronic means within 120 days from the end of every calendar year. Co-op practices. Cash trading. Open trade. Healthy competition. Adherence to local laws. Compliance with all business requirements such as but not limited to business permits, registration with BIR, social legislation and labor laws, and they follow all business norms like adherence to business governance, adequate capitalization, avoid destructive competition among co-ops, selling at market price, comply with the basic requirements of a business enterprise, minimize expenditures, quality standardized goods, and constant expansion. Those are the basic concepts of cooperative. Thank you for listening and welcome to our cooperative. Asahan ninyo na di na kayo nag-iisa dahil ang TAU MPC ay handang umagapay sa inyo.